Hey everyone, Anipod here. Today I will go through the fall season of 2022. So you're gonna find out what shows I plan to watch and what shows I plan to react to during fall 2022. At least episode 1. So I'm using AniChart for this. I've categorized it as popularity. We're gonna start from the bottom and move our way up to the top because let's save the best for last. I also want to point out that this list, the reaction list I'm gonna be announcing later on, it's not 100% guaranteed. It all depends on when the subtitles are coming out, and also, if some of the shows are still waiting to get licensed from a streaming platform. So it's not 100% guaranteed, but it's an indication on what I will react to this fall season. Also, I will probably gradually during this fall season cut down on shows when I notice that some shows are giving less views and less likes than other shows, that in the future I might feel that, okay, they're not worth to keep reacting to, so maybe I will start watching it on my own time later on, but at least episode 1, if everything goes as planned. I have read a lot of the synopsis already, so I don't need to do that. I've also watched a lot of trailers, so I'm very much aware of this list, and what to expect from the shows already. So I don't need to sit down and read the synopsis now while I do this list. I'm pretty much just gonna move right through it and maybe give some comment on some of the shows that sparks my interest a little bit extra. The way I'm gonna do it also is if I mark something as green, that means I'm going to watch it. If I mark something as yellow, that means I might watch it, at least episode 1, and make my decision from there. And red means I'm not gonna watch it at all. The shows that I plan to react to, I'm gonna announce them after this list, and they're gonna be in a random order. Alright, with that said, let's get right into the list. And the first one we have is Mahjong Soul Pon Special. This one is a red. Next up is a red 2. This one is a red. I think a lot of the shows in the beginning are going to be red ones. Next, Rent a Girlfriend is a red. I have actually dropped this show. I got tired of it. I heard yesterday that they are announcing a season 2 for this. I probably won't be watching it because I feel it's not going anywhere. And that is also something that I kind of figured out when I saw many comments about the manga too, So yeah, I won't be watching that. Next is Detective Conan, which I'm not watching. And next up is Romantic Killer. This one is a red 2 because I don't usually watch reverse harem shows. Moving on, next up is Exception. And this is no exception for me. This is gonna be a red 2. I saw the trailer for this. I think it's Netflix who has it. It didn't look good, and I'm not hyped for this show at all. I'm not gonna be watching. I might watch episode 1, and but after that I will probably drop it because I might just watch episode 1 for the cringe, for the animation, but not more than that. So it's still a red, clear red. Moving on, we got that Harem Labyrinth one, which I didn't complete, so it's a red. Next up is some special thing about Made in Abyss. I'm putting this one as a maybe. It's not the original Made in Abyss, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch this one, to be honest. We will see. It looks to be a special about Prushka. It's called Papa to Issue. I don't know if maybe it's something about her and Bondrud maybe. Anyway, moving on. We have, let's see, The 7 Deadly Sins. This is a red, I'm not watching. Next up is another special episode of Tonikawa. This one is a green. So I think we got our first green here, yeah. Bastards, I'm not watching. Alright, so we got through the OVAs and ONAs now. Now we're getting into the movies. And the first one is Eternity, which looks to be a little bit of, I'm guessing, scientific movie about space. I'm putting this one as a maybe, actually. It might be interesting. The next one, Break of Dawn, reminds me a bit. I think there's another regular movie, that is very similar about it, like an alien robot that appears and then going back to Earth, to space or something like that. It reminded me of that. I forgot the name of it though. But it kind of reminds me. It's very similar. This one is a maybe too. Let's see. Next one from A1 Pictures, Kagami no Kojo. It's from a novel. It's fantasy mystery. I'm actually gonna read a bit about this one. In a tranquil neighborhood of Tokyo, 7 teenagers wake to find their bedroom mirrors are shining. At a single touch, they are pulled from their lonely lives to a wondrous castle filled with winding stairways, watchful portraits, and twinkling chandeliers. In this new sanctuary, they are confronted with a set of clues leading to a hidden room where one of them will be granted a wish. But there's a catch. If they don't leave the castle by 5 o'clock, they will be punished. As time passes, a devastating truth emerges. Only those brave enough to share their stories will be saved. It's A1 Pictures, so I'm guessing I'm gonna check it out if it's gonna be available for me to watch. It's a green for now, at least. This one I'm not watching. Slam Dunk I'm not watching. I'm putting maybe on this one and this one. Apparently these two have a connection with each other, as far as I know. They are very similar visuals. They're very similar names. Apparently they have very similar synopsis too, about divorced parents. It's just the studios that are different. Yeah, as far as I know, these two movies, you're supposed to watch one of them and then the other one after that. That's what I heard, at least. And I think you can watch in either row. You don't have to start with a specific one. I think they're supposed to have a connection between these two. Actually sounds very unique and interesting. So if they become available for me, I'll probably watch them. Just to see, what the connection will be. But there's definitely some big similarities here. I did check who was the author of these two as well, and apparently it's the same person, so that makes sense. But anyway, moving on. Let's go to Sword Art Online, which I'm not watching. Suzume I will be watching, obviously. I'm hoping it's gonna be released on theaters. The other one that they made before was released on theaters, I remember. Weathering with You, so I'm expecting this one to be as well. Very pleased with the movies that is coming from the studio. I remember Weathering with You, and also before that Kimi no Nawa. So looking forward to this one. Next up, Slime, which I'm not watching. Moving on. Next up, we got The Leftovers, and these are the two that I'm not watching, actually. I did actually drop Lucifer the Biscuit Hammer completely because, yeah, it just wasn't for me. I wasn't a big fan of the animation of this show, and yeah, it just wasn't for me. I got bored pretty quickly with this show, actually. As you can also see, it's 50%, so yeah, I don't think I was the only one there. Moving on, we got the short ones. Am I gonna watch any of those? I'm not watching this. I might be watching this one, actually. It's very unique and funny story. I think he's reincarnated to one of those ASMR heads, right? That could be interesting to watch. I haven't watched this one, so it's a red. I heard pretty good things about it though, actually, but I'm not gonna watch it. Peter Grill I'm not watching. All right, let's get to the real stuff now. The actual full episodes. I forgot to say it too, but this fall season is packed. It's really packed. I'm kind of concerned how much I can handle because there are a lot of shows that sparked my interest this season. At the same time, I have a job. I have football matches to go to because I have season cards. It's gonna be overwhelming for me, but also it's gonna be very funny. I'm just gonna drink some water and then we're gonna get right into the list. All right, let's do this. But we're gonna start with some red once at least. This one, this one, this one. This one's a red 2, this one's a red 2, this one is a red 2. Next one. This one is a maybe actually. I don't usually watch a lot of horror animes, but I'm gonna give this one maybe a chance. We'll see. This one, no, this one is not for me. It just doesn't interest me. The only thing that kind of interests me about this one is the fantasy world, but other than that, it's not enough for me to actually sit down and watch, I think. So I'm probably just gonna skip on this one. This one I won't be watching. Next up, we got our first regular green, and that is Akiba Maid Wars. So yeah, this one is green. It's an original from PA Works, and it doesn't have any genres yet. I have watched the trailers. I know it's gonna be about maids in, I think, Akihabara, but I don't know much about that. I think the only thing I remember from the latest trailer is that it looks like, I don't know, it was a lot of censor, so I don't really know what to expect from this, but looking forward to see it though. Still, I have hopes on PA Works, because at least when it comes to the animation, so we'll see what happens. Next up we have, I forgot the English name, but see, Fornin wa Soru Uso wo Tsuku. Sorry for my bad Japanese. This one is a maybe 2. Let's move on. This one is, I think it's called something about my master has a tail or my master has no tail, something like that. This one is a maybe 2. It's on Fridays, so I don't have too much to watch on Fridays, to be honest. I might as well check this one out. It's from Little Films. It's comedy and fantasy based on a manga. The only thing that concerned me a bit was the trailer, because it looked like, you know, when they made a trailer, you can kind of hear the OSTs in the background. Like, we got the trailer OST, because trailers usually have inserted OSTs, right? But we got that OST, and then we got what seems to be the OSTs that's gonna be on those clips in the episodes later on. So they have forgot to remove those OSTs, so it sounds very messy in the trailer. But hopefully that was just a minor mistake, and hopefully this anime is actually gonna turn out really well when it's released. I hope so. But yeah, moving on to Yama no Suzume Next Summit. This is the 4th season. I have actually not watched this show, and the season 4 is actually a lot to catch up to. So I was planning to put this one as a red. And I was actually kind of sad about that, because I did watch the trailer and it looks gorgeous. It looks like one of those shows that I would really enjoy, actually. But then I saw somewhere else, I think it was on Live Chart, that I saw that apparently, I think the first episode 1, 2, 3, 4 are gonna be recaps of season 1 to 3. That's how I understood it, at least. And for that reason, I'm actually going to get into this anime, even though I might miss a lot of content from the first seasons. You know, I just want to get right into it anyway, you know, because this is, the first thought I have about this show is that it's going to be a slice of life, you know, about them climbing mountains or going on these adventures to get in the mountains and forests, right? So I don't think these shows really need to watch all the previous seasons, right? Because it's probably gonna be very similar in the 4th season, right? So yeah, I'm gonna be watching this one. Next up, I'm not interested in. This one is a maybe. Next up, we got Renai Flops from Studio Passion, and this one is a green 2. So looks to be a very international harem show, because the girls are from different countries. I think there was one girl from Bulgaria. So yeah, looking forward to this anime. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy this one. Next up, we got the Bibliophile Princess, I think the English name is for it. I'm putting this one as a maybe. I'm not sure I'm going to keep up with this one, actually. Depends on how it goes, but I will definitely give it a chance. Next up, we got Beast Tamer, which is also a maybe. I think the cat girl is kind of adorable, actually, when I saw the trailer. Yeah, this is obviously also going to be, I think, a fantasy harem show. Looking forward to see, how it's going to be. So I'm definitely giving this one a chance. Next up, we have one that I haven't watched. Next up, we have another one that I won't be watching, even though the studio is great because it's the same studio that made Akudama Drive. I loved Akudama Drive. It was my anime of the year 2022. Sorry, 2020. But this story is just not something that sparks my interest. And because we have such a packed season already, I cannot sit down and watch everything. So this one is probably going to be a skip. Next up is that farming anime. I'm not interested, so it's red. Next up, Bocchi The Rock, and from Cloverworks, comedy and music, source manga. This one is green. My first impression of this one is that it looks like there's gonna be girls forming a rock band, obviously, but the latest trailer kind of reminds me like a rock version of Akebi-chan. I don't know if that's how it's gonna be. I also saw some comments that, I hope Cloverworks really make sure that Bocchi has her facial expressions. So I'm not sure what those facial expressions are, but looking forward to see them. I have high hopes in Cloverworks. I know some people are like, oh, Cloverworks, they're not that good because they make a lot of mistakes, it's overwork, it's, they burn out and they make mistakes on anime. Usually those adaptations are the originals. I usually don't see if they actually go by the manga that they usually make mistakes. In fact, those shows are usually very good. I was also one of those people that were a bit worried when they made Akebi-chan. I had, because of how good it was in the beginning, but they pulled that through very well. So I still think that Cloverworks is going to do a great job on Bocchi The Rock. I have high hopes for Cloverworks on that one. Next up, we got some Gundam, which I'm not watching. Next up, we got Raver of the Inner Palace. This one is going to be a maybe. Next up, we got Do It Yourself. It's an original slice of life from Pine Jam. This one is a green. I'm expecting this one to be the anime this season that is just filled with sugar. That it's just going to be sugar all over this anime. It's going to be just sweet and wholesome slice of life about just them building stuff together. That's my first impression of this anime. I'm very much into these kind of animes that are just wholesome. So, I'm definitely going to be watching this one. I think this one is actually going to be one of the hidden gems. I think this one and Bocchi The Rock are going to be some of the hidden gems this season. So very much looking forward to Do It Yourself. I'm sure it's going to be amazing to watch. Next up, we got Fufu Iju Koibito Miman. I think the English version is called More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. It's from Studio Mother, which I've never heard of. It's comedy, drama, ecchi, and it's source manga. This one reminds me a bit of My Dress Up Darling, actually. I think it's because the different personalities between the guy and the girl. He's like the more introvert type, the more laid back. She's the more outgoing, the pretty girl, right? I love those stories very much. That's why I enjoyed My Dress Up Darling so much. I have actually rewatched some of the episodes afterwards because My Dress Up Darling was just pure gold. I loved My Dress Up Darling. I don't think this one is going to be in the same quality as My Dress Up Darling. I'm going to be completely honest about that. But with that said, I'm sure this is going to be a very wholesome show either way. And I'm very much looking forward to it. So it's definitely a green. Next up, I'm the villainess. So I'm Taming the Final Boss. This one is a red. Reminds me a bit of that other Otome game, I think it was called, about the isekai girl who goes into the game. That one I actually dropped eventually because I got bored with it. I did react to the first episode of season 2 here, but yeah, I just got bored with it eventually. And this one is very, very similar, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna drop it eventually too. So I just don't see the point of me start watching this. Next up, we got Shinobi no Itoki from Troika. This one is a red too because I just don't. I've watched the synopsis, I watched the trailer, I just don't get into this. This one is not something that sparks my interest in any way, and because we have such a packed season this fall season, I just don't have time to give these ones a chance that I don't feel anything about even after watching the trailer. I'm not gonna go through that. So this one is red. I'm not gonna watch it. Kanta Collection I'm not watching. Golden Kamuy Season 4 I'm not watching either actually. I did watch some episodes a long time ago on season 1. I haven't actually gone back to it. I kind of put it on pause. The thing is though that, and right now it's just too much to catch up, to be honest. But the thing is that also this, I know a lot of people love Golden Kamuy, but for me the story is just, I'm just not getting into the story of Golden Kamuy, to be honest. It's not really for me. It's I usually feel kind of bored watching Golden Kamuy actually. So yeah, gonna be watching that one. Moving on. Reincarnated as a Sword. This one is a green. Very unique story about being reincarnated as a sword. I'm pretty sure that the person who got reincarnated into the sword and this girl, I'm sure they're gonna have a fantastic team. They're gonna be a fantastic team together. And you know, the trailers that I've seen of this is beautiful. The OST was beautiful too during the first trailer. So yeah, I have high hopes for this one. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy this one a lot. I'm pretty sure it says action and adventure based on a light novel, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some drama involved too. I'm very much looking forward to see this one. Next up, we got Urusei Yatsura 2022. It's a remake of an old one from, I think, the 1980s. I've not watched the original ones actually. I have no idea what this is gonna be about. I am very familiar with the author though, Rumiko Takahashi. She made Inuyasha, which I have not watched actually. But also she made a manga that I actually read a lot during my childhood, and that is Ranma. I love Ranma, the manga. I bought a lot of the books. So yeah, and this just this visual and the trailer that I've seen of this, it screams old school, and I love that. So and also, you know, I'm kind of enjoying these remakes a lot. You know, they usually turn out to be really great. For example, right now I'm watching Tokyo Mew Mew New. I haven't watched the original Tokyo Mew Mew, but I'm enjoying Tokyo Mew Mew New so much. It's actually one of my favorite shows this summer season. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this one too. So yeah, it's a definite green for this one. Next, Iruma-kun Season 3, I'm not watching. Next, The Eminence in Shadow from Nexus, action comedy source light novel. This is a show that I've heard from a lot of people are gonna be great. It seems to be very hyped. For me personally, I'm not feeling that hyped about this show, to be honest. For now, it's gonna be a maybe because of the hype. I'm obviously probably gonna check it out, but I don't have the same expectations as many people have. I think maybe the light novel is really good. Actually, I don't doubt that. But from what I've seen from the trailer and the synopsis, it doesn't spark my interest that much, to be honest. And also, we got the studio that is not very well known, so I'm gonna be honest. I don't think maybe they will surprise us, but my first impression right now is that it doesn't spark my interest that much, and I don't think I'm gonna rank this very high when this is over. To be honest, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm gonna get into this one very much, to be honest. But I'm gonna give it a chance at least. Moving on, we got Usaki-chan Season 2, which I'm gonna be watching. Next up, we got To Your Eternity Season 2. I'm gonna be watching that one too. I can already say this, I'm not going to react to this one because I'm not one of them, but a lot of reactors, it looks like this show is very protected with copywriting. There are a lot of reactors that I've gotten strikes from, especially the last episode of Season 1. So this show is very risky actually. So that's the reason. I'm gonna be watching it, of course, but it's just too risky to do reactions on, so I'm not gonna do that. Moving on, we have Bluelock from 8-bit. I don't usually watch sports anime. As I said before, I love my football. I got season card and everything. But when it comes to sports animes overall, it's not usually my cup of tea. I don't usually watch a lot of sports anime. For example, I did not watch the one that is right now, Aoashi or whatever it's called. This one though, I've heard good stuff about. We got a great studio too, so I'm definitely going to give this one a chance. So yeah, it's a green actually. Next up we got Bleach, and this is obviously a very hyped one for many people. I know there are gonna be a lot of people looking forward to this. I personally have not watched any Bleach actually, not a single episode. And this one is a sequel too, as far as I understand. So this one is actually a red. I'm not going to be watching any Bleach. Moving on. My Hero Academia Season 6, I'm not watching either. And we got the last 3 now. And that is, the first one is Mob Psycho Season 3. This one is green. I am currently in the process of completing Season 2 right now. So I should be done with that when Season 3 arrives. Next up, we got the one that I think I'm looking forward to the most actually, and that is Spy Family Cour 2. I'm very much looking forward to more Spy Family. I love the first core, and I think they're gonna announce the dog too, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see. Also, I did check out the last trailer for this. It looks like maybe there's gonna be a lot, because the first core had a lot of humor in it. And some and action too, of course, but a lot of humor, and it just felt wholesome. As far as I understand the latest trailer, there might be a lot more drama involved though in the second core. I still hope they have the wholesomeness of them being a family still, even more now with the dog. And I hope that they're still gonna have the comedy, but if they do add some drama involved, that's definitely welcomed. And moving on to the one that I think is gonna be the most hyped show of all, and that is Chainsaw Man from Studio Mappa. It's action comedy, sword manga. I heard the manga is very, very, very popular. It might be even popular than Attack on Titan, to be honest, because when this was announced, I know, it exploded the fandom and everything. So obviously for that reason, this is a green too. I personally have not read the manga. I saw the trailer, I read the synopsis. Obviously I'm going to be watching it, but because I don't know enough yet, I cannot say it's going to be good or bad. I don't know. But I'm going in, pretty much blind actually. Even though I read the synopsis, I'm still don't fully know how it's gonna be, what's gonna happen. So in that case, I'm kind of interested, what's the hype about this show. But yeah, those are the shows that's how my watch list looks right now for the fall season. Now, what we're going to do very soon after I drink some water is to go into and check. Is to get into and check what shows I plan to react to, at least episode 1, if the subtitles doesn't come out too late, and if all the shows will be available for me to watch. So those are big factors. But the shows that I'm gonna show you now, those are the indications of shows that I plan to react to during fall season, at least episode 1, and then we will see how it goes from there. If the show is gonna drop on views, if it's gonna drop on likes. Something like that might make me start cutting down on shows by time, and from there maybe we'll just watch a few shows for the rest of the season. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, all right. But this is also gonna be announced in a random order, so for example, I'm not gonna start with Chainsaw Man or anything like that. It's a random order. So yeah, the first show that I plan to react to, at least episode 1, is Mob Psycho Season 3. And yeah, I'm currently in the process of completing Season 2. I'm almost done with it. I'm more than halfway through actually, so I should be completed with this one before season 3 arrives. Great animation, and as far as I understand it, also in season 3, they're not gonna do any CGI. It's gonna be drawn. I think it's gonna be amazing. So very much looking forward to more Mob Psycho. Next up, the next one I plan to react to, at least episode 1, is Bluelock. As I said before, I don't usually watch sports anime, but this one seems to be very different. And yeah, it's on a Saturday, so I'm definitely willing to do at least a first impression. Probably more than that eventually, you know, if the views are with me. But looking forward to see, you know, how this one is going to turn out. It doesn't look to be the typical generic sports anime. It's probably going to be something very different. Moving on to the next one, that is Akiba Maid Wars. I'm always willing to give the chance to these, you know, originals. This one might be a hidden gem, actually. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be reacting to episode 1 and give my thoughts. You know, as I said, if it gets any license, etc., all of that. But this does spark my interest, especially the latest trailer. I have no idea what to expect from this, but it's gonna be interesting. Moving on, we got an obvious one right now, and that is Chainsaw Man. Yeah, here's the thing though with this one. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like 1 million reactors to this one or something like that. So for me, who has like a little bit more than 230 subscribers, right? I'm a very small reactor in comparison to many. These shows, if I keep reacting to it, you know, my videos might not be visible for many people because they're gonna be in this whole list of all the other popular reactors, right, that are reacting to this one. So I'm a little bit concerned, you know, how the views for me personally are gonna be about this one in interactions, etc. I might be surprised actually. Maybe, you know, this is so hyped that, you know, the fandom might be going to watch every reaction. I don't know if they have time for it, but you know, I'm definitely gonna give it a chance at least. You know, I don't doubt that this is a very good show, because a lot of people say so. Obviously that's true, but I'm just concerned, you know, how my reactions are gonna do with this one, with so many people who are obviously going to react to this one, because this is the #1 most hyped show this season, and maybe this whole year too. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm definitely doing episode 1 at least, and if people want more, I'll keep doing them, no problem. Next we have Bocchi The Rock from Cloverworks. This one is another one of the hidden gems that I'm looking forward to. I love Cloverworks too, that's why I want to react to episode 1 of this. So yeah, and as I said before, I thought this looked a bit like the rock version of Akiba-chan. I just saw now too when I clicked in here that the character style seemed to be very similar to Slow Loop. So, and I really enjoy Slow Loop, so I'm expecting this one to be slice of life, wholesome, girls creating a rock band. So looking forward to see that. Moving on, we have X Family Cour 2, and I know a lot of people are super hyped for Chainsaw Man, but this is my most hyped show. This is the one I'm looking forward to the most, because this is just a great show. Honestly, it got the humor, it got the you know, the wholesomeness with the family, and now we get the dog, right? I haven't read the manga, but I can just imagine how it's gonna be when the dog is introduced to this family. You know, it's gonna be amazing. I'm very much looking forward to the dog being welcomed into the family. I think there's no secret either that the dog is gonna be involved. He's even in the visual over there, so you know, it's not a secret that they're gonna add the dog. But yeah, looking forward to more Spy Family. I think for me, this might be my anime of the season. Right. actually. And the final one that I plan to react to, at least episode 1, is the remake of Urusei Yatsura. And I hope YouTube will not remove my video because of this visual. That would be a pain, because I just sit down and talk for so long, and then maybe the robots of YouTube see this and they're like, oh, we gotta remove the whole video. Hopefully not. Because that's not my fault. Yeah, I really looking forward to see how this one will turn out. I'm expecting this one to be very similar to Ranma. To be honest, the girl kind of looks like the character called Shampoo. They look very similar. And but yeah, looking forward to this one. And that girl over there, she looks like Nabiki from Ranma, actually. Very similar characters, and obviously because it's the same author, so makes sense. But yeah, I think this one is also gonna be an amazing show, really. But yeah, that's my list. So the ones that I plan to react to episode 1 are the following again: Mob Psycho Season 3, Bluelock, we got Akiba Maid Wars, we got Chainsaw Man, we got Bocchi The Rock, we got Spy Family Cour 2, and we got Urusei Yatsura. So yeah, that's my fall season list for now. And yeah, let me know what you think. Also, one important thing before we end this is that I'm gonna be watching a lot of more shows, which you can see in this list, right? A lot of shows that I'm not reacting to. But if you want some more comments from me about other shows that I'm not reacting to, I am suggesting you guys to follow me on Twitter, actually, because I am very active on Twitter. So if you have a Twitter account, you can go to the description box here and you will see the name to search for, and you will find me. And you can follow me there. I talk a lot about anime, sometimes football too, but mostly anime, because that's my main focus, right? In that, in my Twitter page is to comment on anime. So if you want to know my thoughts about other shows that I'm not reacting to, feel free to follow me on Twitter. That would be very appreciated. But yeah, other than that, please tell me what you're looking forward to the most this fall season, and I wish you all a very good day. Bye.